Hi everyone, we're here at the Eurovision Conference in Maynooth and we're joined by Linda Martin, who you'll know was the Eurovision winner in 1992.
That's right.
And she came second in 1984.
That's right.
So she's a pro and she knows a lot about Eurovision. Um, so I think the first question is, how did Eurovision change your life?
It was in one swell swoop, as they say. I went from gigging with the band on the road night after night, and believe me, it's tough work. No matter what anybody says, it is tough work because all you do is travel. And we'd no motorways then, you've got to remember that as well, you know. So you're on country roads and you travel 5 hours to Killarney, 5 hours back, plus your 2 hours on stage. It was a tough life. And that's fine when you're maybe in your teens or early 20s and you've no commitments. But as you get commitments in life, you need more in life to actually move you into different circles. So the Eurovision for me was like light at the end of a tunnel, and it worked. In '84 I learned so much, and then when Johnny wrote Why Me, it was a godsend. I literally did just say thank you, God.
And you hold the record, I think, for the most participations in the song contest in Ireland with 9. And, well, did you kind of have it in your head that I am going to do this, I'm going to win it, and I'm not going to stop till I'm on that European stage?
Yes, well, I first saw Donna winning. Donna's a friend of mine, and I love her to bits. And I just said, I want to do that as well. So it's like I was in various forms. Sometimes I entered as a solo artist, and sometimes I was part of a group and things like that. But my attitude is, and I refer back to football again. I don't know why I keep saying football, but if a player doesn't score a goal, do you say, well, don't come back?
Yeah.
Or a team don't win, do you say, now you're gone? You can't be like that in life. You have to keep, no matter what aspect of life you're trying, you have to keep knocking on the doors. You have to keep pushing until eventually a door opens and you can get in.
And then obviously I guess a lot of doors were open for you after you won. And you won just a few years after Celine Dion. And did you kind of think that I'd like that, or were you happy with what you got, or do you feel that maybe because you were an Irish winner that you were let down, that if you'd won for another country you'd be bigger afterwards?
No, I don't think so. No, that didn't. I wish I could have been like Celine Dion, my God. But no, I think that everybody did their best for me, and I had everything that was possible to get.
Yeah.
Really and truly. I mean, I'm still here working from it, so there's certain, you would know. I would be bitter if I thought that nobody really looked after me. I didn't take every opportunity. I really worked my guts out after it and still work through it and love it because it's been very, very good to me. I don't live and breathe Eurovision regardless, but I love it and I take a keen interest. And I always encourage people to go forward because it's like a platform and you may as well use it.
Yeah, and you obviously have still have a great love for Eurovision, and even you've gone to the London Eurovision party a few times in recent years, and a lot of the time you're the only Irish representative at it, that Ireland's own act is there and isn't there. And does it disappoint you then that maybe Ireland isn't jetting around Europe doing these tours all the time?
Well, you see, I think they are. It's just that they wouldn't have 2 Irish winners on the night of the party. It wouldn't make any sense. But Niamh still works in Europe. Charlie and Paul still work. Donna still works a lot in America, actually. Emer's doing her own thing at the moment. So, and even Fionnuala Sherry, who I know it wasn't Ireland, but it really was Ireland. And she's a great pal of mine as well. And she is doing huge work with Secret Garden, you know. So we all do our different things, and we all do still work thanks to that little song contest that everybody sneers about. You know, but
And you still follow it, and you were in London, and you would have heard a lot of the songs there this year. And so do you have any favourites?
not really. And I'm being very honest with you about this. I'm told that Italy is going to do very, very well. But then last year, nobody said Ukraine was going to do very, very well. So you actually never know. Some people like Belgium, like John today, he liked Belgium. I don't personally, but I haven't heard anything else, so I don't know.
Yeah. And Ireland then, obviously, since the 90s, we haven't done as well. You were involved in it on occasion that you were on the panels on Eurosong, or you mentored Jedward one year. But you probably have a greater insight than most into what goes on behind the scenes. So where do you think is going wrong for Ireland?
We need to bring back our variety shows, both in the theatre and on TV. We need to try and bring back cabarets. It sounds awful naff me saying that, but it's where you get your experience. You might be 10th on the bill, but you're still out in front of an audience learning how to perform in front of people, and it's vitally important. And we need, if we could bring all of those elements back, and then give encouragement to the kids who want to be singers, musicians, and give them spots. And then it's it's pretty easy to notice somebody who's got a little bit of talent. You know, you'll say to yourself, "Oh, there's somebody to watch out for now. We'll give them another spot and see how they progress. And if you're really good, you will progress. And then
Yeah.
finally, we might have a handful of good young people, groups or solo singers. It doesn't really matter that the songwriters are going to hand over their songs for, and it's difficult. You ring
Yeah.
Brendan Graham up and say, "Give me one of your songs." No way, he say. "Who's going to sing it? Is Celine Dion going to sing it? Then I'll give it to you." But
Yeah.
you know, they won't hand them over, so it's difficult. And the record companies also, they've no faith in Eurovision anymore. And that is not only not the sales of the Eurovision songs, but it's also what's happening now with Spotify and things. You
Yeah.
say so. The record companies aren't spending any money these days because of that situation. So it's a difficult thing to get out of, but we're stuck in it. And I just pray that we never leave Eurovision.
Yeah.
I just hope that we do keep competing.
And then I just want to ask you that you've a lot of showbiz friends because you've been in gigging since the
Yeah.
70s. And just on this year's selection, Louis Walsh was involved and you're a good friend with him. But then on the other side, Johnny Logan had comments saying that it was a cheap and nasty approach. So how do you kind of balance then your relationships with both when you're kind of involved with both and without?
Yeah, Pádraig, I don't think Johnny actually said those words,
Okay.
because I've had conversation with him since that was printed, and you know what the media is like. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of fabulous journalists out there, and they really will look after you. But sometimes little things are said,
Yeah.
and I don't think Johnny actually said that, because he'd have no gripe with Brendan. Why would he? Brendan's just a young fella. He's only 20-year-old, and certainly Louis and Johnny get on very well also.
Yeah.
I tend not to listen. I don't be listening to gossip all the time. You know, Louis's been managing me since the 70s, and we're great friends now. And Johnny's been a great friend since the 70s as well. What I'm saying, we were both in the same office. And I just don't listen to the gossip that's flying around. I take people on face value.
Yeah.
So I don't listen and I don't say anything.
Yeah.
I just have fun with both of them and get on really, really well. I
That's
think
a good plan.
I think it's the best.
And it's worked for you to now, so.
Keep it shut.
And I think since we're here, do you think now that Brendan has a good chance of making it to the final this year? Because we haven't had great luck the past few years.
No. He's got the voice. He's got the look. People do like him because he's a lovely young fella. The song I like very much. I've got 5 backing singers going with Brendan because I was asked to pick them. And I've got
Okay.
5 big voices going with him. And they'll provide a gospel type choir in the background for him. So the staging is being done by Nicolina this year, who staged Australia last year.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yes, it was a
I
great
can remember
stage,
a big
yeah.
thing on her shoulders, like a big bow or a big ribbon or something like that. So Nicolina's doing that. That's going to be quite spectacular. And
Okay.
an RT are actually spending money. Which
That's
is good.
That's very good
which
to
is
hear.
good, you know. So I go back to saying you cannot just stand on a stage and sing a song. The emotion's got to be there, going down the camera to the housewife sitting in Hungary or wherever else she happens to be sitting, so as they'll pick up the phone and vote for you on the public vote. And if Brendan can sell his soul on that stage, I think he's a good chance of getting out of the semi. I'd love him to. I really
Yeah,
do.
it would be nice, and it'd be a nice boost for the
Yes,
country as well.
it really would. I genuinely hope he gets it's a tough semi-final, but if Russia don't compete,
Yeah.
it might be slightly easier. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
And then I think just for the last question, a lot of us and our viewers at home will know you from Eurovision, but do you have any other projects that are ongoing that you would like people to know about?
Yeah, well, I do my Eurovision work. Although it's
Yeah.
not really Eurovision work, it's just because of the Eurovision
Yeah.
that I'm still working. So I do that, and I do my animal welfare because I just adore animals and
Yeah.
everything that happens to them. So that takes up an awful lot of time, an incredible amount of time. And apart from that, not much else. No.
Yeah.
I just live life the way I want to live it.
Yeah. And Eurovision is enough to give you life.
It
so,
is. It is.
yeah.
And everything, all the spin-offs from Eurovision. At this time of year, I live in the countryside,
Yeah.
and I have a big garden, and I love the gardening. So if you saw me yesterday, I was in my gardening boots and
Yeah.
a little hat and everything, and no makeup, and I was like a tramp. So what? I don't care. So there's different parts of life, and I just
Yeah.
enjoy each one. Next weekend, I'll be with my family. We're all going away for the Easter holiday. So I'll be with
Okay.
them. And then I come back, and then I'm going to Birmingham at the end of next week. I'll be over there recording a new album, believe it or not. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay. But it's great to hear that you're having such a great career outside
Yeah.
it, and that you're able to balance it with the
Absolutely.
family life. And it was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for talking to us.
Not a bother.